Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at WagerTalk.com, and all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
Welcome to Bet On It Monday Night Football Edition. I am Kelly Stewart, joined by Marco D'Angelo and Gianni, the Greek, at Greek_Gambler, at Marco in Vegas, at Kelly in Vegas. If you're not following us on Twitter, I don't know what else you're doing. I know that this is the part of the show where I'm supposed to recap how this weekend went, but I would like to just bypass that part and go straight into Marco and ask him how his weekend was, because we all know how terrible mine went yesterday.
Oh, well, Kelly, I can tell you that when all the favorites win and the books are crying they got slaughtered, you can pretty much guess I got handed to me as well. Not a fun day, and I went 1-3 at different parts of the day. I looked like I was going to be 2-0 early. Then I looked like I was going to be 0-2 late. Then it looked like it was going to be 2-0 late. And then it was a 1-3 day. I had Cleveland with the big lead, -2.5. Yeah, we know how that one ended up. Then I had Cincinnati, who was getting blown out most of the game, but they inflicted all of those wounds to themselves. But then they rallied and actually had a lead in overtime. No, not so much. An underdog in overtime, you know what happens there, don't you? And then the final piece of the puzzle, the Buffalo Bills. Tom Brady once again snatches a victory from the jaws of defeat, and I'm on the losing end of a +3.5 in overtime as he races off to the touchdown in overtime. And Kelly, I got to tell you, I pretty much scared the living shit out of my wife, Lori, yesterday, because I was on the way to the Vegas Golden Knights game. The game went to overtime. I should have let her drive, but I'm driving, and I have the phone on the game in overtime, going down Tropicana Avenue as he's taken off down the sidelines for the game-winning touchdown. Obscenities were yelled. Lori was scared shitless, and, well, you know what the rest of that was. So not a fun Sunday.
Well, I'm glad somebody else felt my pain. I got very lucky on the flip side of that Browns game. I had the Ravens in every single teaser, along with the Falcons, the Broncos, the Seahawks, and they're all tied into tonight's game, which we'll get into here in a minute. But that was my only saving grace, Marco. I also had the Bills with you, but right before the Bills went to overtime, the Lions decided to let the Broncos, instead of just getting the first down, running out the clock so I could cash my under ticket, march right in the end zone, hit that over, completely unnecessary touchdown to everybody but me. VR, how was your weekend? I know that this is, as Marco said, a weekend where we have 14-1. Every favorite basically won outright except for one. What are those types of weeks like for you? I know that you're playing strictly sharp guy stuff, and it's not always us versus the books, right? I think that's a common misconception here.
You're absolutely right. It's a zero-sum game, and it's us against each individual bettor more than it is us versus the books, believe it or not, because the books have a built-in edge, and they're there to manage their risk. The zero-sum game is with the other bettors getting to the right number and beating them to that number. For me, it was pretty simple, and I love that you could just check everything in the back end real quickly. And over the last 7 days, I'm up money. So it's been a profitable 7 days. I navigated through it nicely. With all that said, I lost my biggest bet in the UFC, but I would have made that bet again. In MMA, I think I hit 68% of my play. So I had a really good week overall. And in NFL, I lost my biggest bet yesterday, but yet overall, I kind of like split. And that's why it wasn't like, it was a profitable week, but nothing to brag about. Like I said, I lost my biggest bet in MMA and my biggest bet in the NFL. But with proper money management, I was still able to turn a profit for the week. And that's the biggest takeaway, that it comes down to risk management once you have an edge. Again, I'll keep saying this like a broken record as long as I'm in this industry. There's only 3 things you can control as a sports bettor: plan your bet your plan, and manage your risk. And what that means is simple. Plan your bet means get your edge. How do you have an edge? Once you have a sure edge, then you place your bet. You mean implement your plan. Actually do what you said you were going to do. Stay consistent with bet size. Shop for the best line. Do it whether you're running hot or cold. That's implementing your plan. And finally, manage risk correctly. That means bet size based on your edge that you already proved to yourself. As long as you do those things, the bad beats, they're all just fun stories because they're going to balance out over time. And when all the dust settles, if you're up money, you placed good bets. Before we move on to this game, what I wanted to touch on more importantly is this, because I brought receipts. More importantly than how I did on the show, how Kelly or Marco did on the show, because I think it was a pretty good week for all of us, or even overall. What matters most is that the Wong teasers going into tonight, I told you there were 7 teams that qualified when we did this video on Wednesday. 6 of those won going into tonight with the Rams +8. So I told you there was 21 2-team teaser combinations of Wong teasers available on Wednesday. 21 of them. 15 of those cashed. Now there's 6 pending on Rams +8.5. So what do? You unload the other half on Arizona like we did at a pick'em on the money line, actually, like we did this morning with my subscribers. Now, I'm not going to send them out 21 plays. With all the volume I send, they're going to be like, what the? But instead, that's the goal of shows like this. And that's why I do, when I get an opportunity and have time to do content like this, because it's to actually show you how to win, not nonsense about giving you a pick, because it's going to win, it's going to lose. Long term, we know who wins and who doesn't in this industry. But if I could make you more efficient, if you're a winning bettor, I'm going to make you an even more efficient bettor. If you haven't gotten there yet, I'm going to steer you away from all the nonsense that's out there, the 99%, and steer you towards the actual 1% of content that's going to help you towards that, road if you actually do want to be a winning sports bettor and not just do it for fun, because that's what we're doing here on the show. We're doing it for real. And as you could see, all of us are up a little bit of money for the season, because when the dust settles, numbers never lie. And that should always be the goal. Not like on a show like this is going to, tell all, but over time, you have a big enough sample size. Again, numbers never lie. But the Wong teaser, as we broke down back in week 1, week 2, week 3, you could be 15-0 going into tonight with 6 bets and kick your feet up. Don't even watch it. Watch something else because you locked in your profit. So again, that's Plus EV sports betting at its best, baby. Let's talk about tonight.
VR nailed it. Those Wong teasers were the only thing to save me. And in fairness, I shouldn't have let those little degenerate tendencies get to me. I know better than that. I've been better than that. But every once in a while, Johnny Detroit sends those charts on Monday morning, and you see that reverse line movement on the dog, and you just want to get involved so bad. Look, that was VR nailed it. Our goal here is to make you guys better bettors. And even sometimes that means myself. I need a little bit of reminder. And yesterday was sure a friendly reminder of think long, think wrong. I had those teasers loaded last Monday, and that should have been my only action for yesterday. Let's get into tonight. We've got the LA Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Total is currently 51. Arizona, 2.5 across the board at the WagerTalk odds screen. Marco, I'm going to go to you first. You nailed it the last time these two played. You said the Rams were fat and sassy, and boy, were they. They had just beaten the Bucks. The whole world was ready to give them the Lombardi Trophy. They signed Von Miller. They got Odell Beckham Jr. The whole world was looking up for this team. And what happened? The Arizona Cardinals absolutely smoked them.
Yeah, absolutely, Kelly. That was what I wanted to refer to when that game took place. For Arizona, they went into that game undefeated, just like the Rams, only they were only talking about one team going into that game. So for Arizona, it was a statement game. They had something to prove. And, my favorite saying, the Rams were fat and sassy after they beat Tom Brady. Now it's a complete reversal. It's Arizona that is the team that everybody's talking about. And they're talking about the Rams, but they're talking about what the hell happened to them. They've lost 3 of their last 4. And, okay, they got a win last week, a 30-point win over Jacksonville. So what? Well, you know what, Kelly? You guys know I'm a horse owner, and sometimes you got to drop your horse down in class, put him in a cheap claimer, let him get that confidence-building win, and then you move forward from there. And you know what? That Rams win last week over Jacksonville, that might be just what jump starts the engines for them and gets them back on track. Definitely, Matthew Stafford needed a confidence-building game. He's had some rough ones, and you can put a couple of the losses squarely on his shoulders, especially the Tennessee game that started the 3-game slide with those just horrendous interceptions he had out of the end zone. But I look for them tonight. I already got a teaser from the show pending with Atlanta on the front end of it with the Rams to close it out. I'm probably going to look for a little bit more. I'm going to look at this week's card and find some of those Wong teasers and hook some more up with the Rams at plus 8.5 because I just don't see them getting blown out in this game. I actually like the Rams plus 2.5 as well. Arizona, when I look at games, second meetings, we always talk about revenge, but I do like to go back and look at the first meetings. I do like teams that lost at home, and I like to look and see, hey, was there something different about that first meeting? And that was what was different. You had the Rams off Tampa Bay win, and they were fat and sassy. Now they're the team that's hungry and something to prove. And be honest, their season's on the line. If they want any shot at catching the Cardinals, they got to win this one. So for me, I got a small play on the Rams plus 2.5, but I'm going to have a lot of exposure with the Rams in teasers.
Yeah, I'm with you here, Marco. I do have them in an open teaser because I was thinking the same as you, but I didn't get a chance to look yet. So far, your options are to put them in with the Patriots, the Miami Dolphins, and the San Francisco 49ers, even the Bengals. So there's lots of open teasers that you can add that Rams team to if you missed out on last week. And as VR said, the Wong teaser, minus 110 has been one of the most profitable plays in the NFL. So that is what we stand by. That's what I'm betting tonight. I'm with Marco. I do lean towards the 2.5 here. I would like to see the Rams get a win. But I do have some COVID concerns. That's what got me with the Washington football team. Basically, yesterday, right before a kick, they started announcing several more players out. The line went to 6.5. I knew I had a dead-on loser. But VR, with some of these defensive players, say it's a defensive tackle or a cornerback, how much do you buy into that one player being out versus cluster injuries and according to the line? Because the line hasn't moved, even though they've announced 3 defensive players will be out tonight.
I mean, cluster injuries are obviously going to attract more attention and affect the betting line. My goal is always to take advantage of the overreaction because in today's day and age, I'm in a position where I'm almost never going to get the information before the odds maker does. That's just how it is. I don't have the network. I don't have the resources. It just with the technology age we're in, it's just not even your winning better is not going to be able to get that kind of information and beat the books to it unless, like I said, you're those top syndicates that do it the way they do it. And I'm just keeping it real. I'm not there. So the way I could take advantage is after the market overreacts. And that's where I say it's a zero-sum game. And not to be rude, but we have to be honest. And we need squares in this betting market, or else I can't make a living. I need someone on the other side of the trade to think there's value there when there isn't, or else I'll never make money. So that's how I approach it. When they make the mistake, then I pounce. If they don't make the mistake, as they haven't so far, there's nothing really to take advantage of, me being that type of bettor. Now, this game, I'm going to keep it simple, and we could come back because I got some gold for you. Stick around. You're not sticking around for nothing. I'll tell you what I did, and here's why I did it. I had sent out a 4% $800 play, which is the best bet with a teaser yesterday, tied into tonight with the Rams plus 8.5. The reason I did that is because I wanted a lot of exposure on this game. When I looked at the metrics, these two teams are so close. On a neutral field, I make them a pick 'em. Now, you have to give Arizona something for home field advantage. Here's why. Points per play. Los Angeles Rams, 0.447, number 3 in the NFL. Arizona, 0.445. They're 4th or 5th in the NFL. But at home, that drops to 0.380. Now, Arizona, with all that said, when you look at the offensive success rate and the defensive success rate, is the exact same thing. Arizona and the Rams are very close with each other. The only thing that sticks out the most is defensive passing success rate. For Arizona, they have that advantage. What am I getting at? That these two teams are very evenly matched. The edge has to go to Arizona slightly for being at home. They're both healthy. Arizona, I think, is a little healthier. At least that's what it looked like on paper, if I'm right. And I also think the metrics are a little bit Arizona's side, a little bit better, a little bit. Because I expect a close game, I wanted that exposure. So today I came back and put 5% on Arizona on the money line. So I got 800 on Rams plus 8.5 and 1,000 on Arizona on the money line with VIG. So minus 130 here, minus 120 there. So we are paying juice for this big of a middle, but I was willing to do it and thought there was a lot of EV there because the total's coming down. Even though you're looking at two high-profile offenses, we're also looking at two very efficient defenses. And sharp money is starting to push this total under. Once I saw that on the chart, even though it bounced back, once it hits support or resistance multiple times, eventually it breaks through. It's like that in every market. So that was expected. That's why I think this type of game, you do want to tease. Like Marco and Kelly are saying, look to next week. I think you do want to tease it. Otherwise, I like where I'm at. I think Arizona wins this game, but I do think it's a close game. I like the under also. I'll tweet it if I get to the window with it. I'll try to remember to tweet it. I need confirmation. Like, I need a push to the under. Because like I said, I have so much riding on the side with minimal risk that for me to trade dollars for another bet, there's got to be stronger reason than what I have. I like the under. I lean under strongly, but not enough yet to lay minus 110 to win 100. But if I get confirmation, I'll send that out. Otherwise, that's what I got. Just keeping it real, telling you how I set this game up and what I was looking for and, what I'm hoping happens tonight. So tomorrow morning, wake up, 9% richer than we went to bed last night.
That would be a very nice middle VR. Just because I'm looking at the WagerTalk odds screen, we're seeing money lines minus 130 all the way up to minus 137. Can you let everybody know what the most price they should be paying? So for me, example, I have 8 units to win, 8 units on the Rams. So if I do want to middle per se by betting Arizona money line, what's the highest price I should be paying on this money line?
130 or less. That's the best question. What a question. That's the kind of question that no one talks about in gambling Twitter, in these shows and videos, because those are the difficult questions. Those are the ones that actually matter. It's you want to be a winning bettor. Thank you for asking that, Kelly. If you've got to find 130 or better, otherwise lay the 2.5. Meaning if you have minus 140 or the option to lay 2.5 at 110, you don't lay the 140. You lay the 2.5. But if you get 130 or better, then you do the money line. That's what my numbers have, show for me. Now, there may be quants that are going to argue that by a penny here or there. We could do that all day. But I would say that's where I would bet you want to be. If you're laying more than 130, you're better off laying the points. 130 or less, lay the money line, even though it's higher than 110 big. That's the way to play the game.
Absolutely. Thank you for answering that, VR. And before I let you get to your gold, it is $9 Monday over at WagerTalk. So that means Marco D'Angelo has a play up. Marco, can you tell us what you have up on WagerTalk.com?
I've got an NBA play up tonight. You can get that right now. Our top play, it is a 4% play. Our 4% plays and higher are 9-3 the last 12. Thought it was going to be 10-2 with Buffalo, but not so much. You can check that out for $9 right now at WagerTalk.
Thank you, Marco. I will be texting you after the show because Johnny Detroit does not give me an employee discount. VR, get ready, drop some of that gold.
All right, no hockey so far. There's only one game. I got some college basketball. I haven't bet this. Haven't had time to look into it. As you can see, crypto markets are down, equity markets are down. Those are buying opportunities if you have dry powder. So I haven't dug into this college basketball. Do what you want with it. 879 over 128. Cal Poly Portland and over 61 in the first half. And then 306-221, the extra games under 153. Maryland Baltimore against Princeton. NBA. I'll give you two that I actually bet and released the subscribers as 3%. First, 504 Indiana plus 3.5, and 502 Cleveland plus 5. Cleveland plus 5, I should have made a 4% play, but because they've covered so many games in a row, and I picked them off throughout, it's the right thing to do is bet more, but kind of I may have enough equity in it that I don't want to. So I went a little scared, and we went with a 3% play on Cleveland -5 as well. So you know how much I like it a little stronger than the first one. And then also bet, but I didn't piggyback and release. They went Clippers plus 3.5. They went under 217.5 Charlotte Dallas, and they went over 212.5 Washington Denver, and that's 216.5. So missed that one. And the Charlotte Dallas also dropped. So again, I'm just on Indiana and Cleveland. The rest is sharp, but do with it what you like.
Awesome stuff. If you want some more NBA, make sure you head over to WagerTalk.com or Ralph's Twitter page at CalSportsLV. His NBA logs have been crushing it, and I love to see all those free NBA plays because I have not taken the time to start handicapping NBA myself. All right, thanks for hanging out with us every single Monday here on Bet On It. We'll be back for the Wednesday edition of Bet On It from Ralph, myself, Marco, and VR. Thank you guys yet again. Until then, let's bet on it.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, college football bowl season, baby. And there are 42 bowl and playoff games to keep us entertained for almost 3.5 weeks. Starting with Toledo versus Middle Tennessee State and going through the national championship on Monday, January 10th, pick your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicapper and get every college football bowl game day release, including any 5% best bets normally priced at $35 for the low price of $149. As an added bonus, make sure to download the free WagerTalk College Football Bowl Guide by going to wt.buzz/rm. From everyone at WagerTalk and Sports Memo, good luck this college football bowl.